or we have a lot of activity that goes on at a game, So
Okay.
it can be anything from, holy cow, did we get that banner made, to our tickets printed for that specific sponsor, to, do we have it set up with our staff and our, different folks, you just don't know. It just really depends. So that week is a meeting in the office where we kind of talk about everything, we sit there together like, oh, did we do that? Oh, did we make sure that was finished? And God love us. And I hate to say this, and as much as I hate to say it as such a positive, is I'm the worst of the worst. Like when it comes
Jen.
to I know,
No.
paperwork and admin stuff. And if anybody's going to hold it up, it probably is me, because it's sales, right? Sponsorship sales. So we take it to the wire. So everything is to the wire. So it could be Jordan making banners for us that need to get hung up, the night before. It could be the tickets. I'm calling you going, holy cow, this sponsor has an extra person. Can we make it work? Not make it work? You know? So there's just so many pieces. I mean, you're over there at Freeman putting all this stuff together 2 and 3 days in advance.
And you do a lot of last minute things because you want to appease every single sponsor.
We try.
Every sponsor matters. Doesn't matter how much they're sponsoring. It could be the smallest sponsor.
Right.
And that's still a top priority for you. So if something gets thrown in at the last minute, it's like, hey, I need this done right now. So you're getting to me, you're getting to Jordan, to April. Hey, we need this. We need this.
And Crystal, God love Crystal with the program. That's another one I know I torture her constantly because they have the opportunity to change their ads, every week.
Yes.
So, that's tough.
We really do have the best team.
We
have the best team.
We do
and,
have a lot
and
of
most
support.
of most of the team never gets seen.
That's true.
And that's what we're changing about tonight. You get to see the people that you don't really get to see.
That would be us. And heaven forbid we hid some people because we're missing Ralph. You don't see Ralph.
You don't see Ralph.
We miss him. Although he's staring at us right now, going, what are you doing to us?
The voice of Ralph lives on forever.
Absolutely.
Folks.
But you don't get to see him because you get to see us.
Yeah. Well, the week leading up to game day is super busy. What about the night before game day?
Well, this past game, let's talk about that. I actually ran down to Freeman Coliseum and I was helping get the colors out for the Fiesta tablecloths and doing that. But that is just such a minuscule thing than what our support team does.
But it's all hands on deck.
It is all hands on deck.
No matter what.
Absolutely. We all help each other with whatever we can.
Your sponsorships, but you're also setting up at the Freeman. You're not too proud to unpack tables and put on stickers somewhere. You're like,
I know. I wish I did more. Honestly, I feel so bad when I go down there because I'm like, tell me what to do. What do we need? But again, with what we do for any game, there's so many steps that gets to where it gets that night.
Gotcha.
Because you can go down there and put the tablecloths, but if the tables aren't set up yet, guess what? We got tables to do. And if the tables aren't ready, the chairs are there. And we're listening to the intercom over us because there's people like Ralph that are out there talking and making sure that the system's working. And then you have April, God love her. She is there nonstop dealing with her phone. I don't know how she does it. I really don't. And then you see Jordan running around taking care of things. I mean, it's a family affair.
And their 4 kids are also there.
That's what I'm saying. It's a family affair. It's amazing what they do. I feel like my piece is probably the smallest of the small compared to everybody else's work that gets done to execute a game. I mean, I'm just a small piece of the puzzle. The puzzle is just huge. And
we're all small pieces of that puzzle.
I know, and it's so awesome. But really, when it comes down to it, it's the Marshalls of the world and the Aprils and the Jordans and the Jameses and Stephanies. And
I agree.
They're the ones that are really making it happen. We just get to go down there, put on those credentials and smile at everybody and listen to it all because we're more the one-on-one with the attendees. But at the end of the day, it's all about the team, right?
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Great support staff.
Yeah. I mean, the night before game day for me, the day before game day for me is just, it's like a never ending cycle of my phone ringing, and I love it. It's like, how could I be so stressed but want to do this all over again the very next day?
I know. Glutton for punishment. That's our line. That's our tagline. We're glutton for punishment, right? I'm gonna
We-
go with that.
We are so for the brand. We are all about guns up.
It is guns up.
Yeah.
Guns up.
All the way.
Yes.
All the way.
Absolutely. But you know, I will say this. You have kind of a cool job because you get to have like the specialty jerseys there. If I get asked once, I get asked 50 times, like, is there a new jersey? Is there a new piece of merchandise? Is there something new at the table? I'm going to go to the table and go see Weston and find out. I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's that part of it. You know, you get the excitement of everybody that's ready to be guns up, you know, and ready to have the gunslinger gear and see what they're doing and how they do it and it's just awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, game day setup for me is loading out everything in this giant trailer. I've just got boxes and boxes worth of stuff, and we get there and there's just a big blank space in the Freeman.
Yeah.
And I just have to like envision what I would think a really nice merch store would look like. And we make it happen. I have a super great intern. His name's James Palmer. Shout out to you, James. I'm sure you're watching.
Yes, James is awesome.
But he is there with me every single week to help me unload that trailer. We set up all the tables. We set up all the displays. Inventory, even after the game, we are tearing down together and doing everything else. Really quick, I want to jump to this comment. Okay. Philip Higginbotham. Good friend.
Love him.
Good friend. He said, "Are you?" Let's put him up there really quick. Are y'all still doing 2 different merch stands? Okay, if you're asking Jen,
we should.
Absolutely, we should.
I agree.
If you're asking Weston, absolutely, we should not.
I know. That's part of that week conversation before the game.
Well, we did have a fair compromise, and that was me moving my merch booth more towards the front of the Freeman versus being all the way around to the side.
Agree.
Because you know the folks on that sit on the visiting side, it's a long walk for them to walk all the way around the Freeman to the other side just to buy merch. Where now we're right to the side of the main entrance of the Freeman. The biggest thing for me was splitting into 2 merch groups is I've got some inventory would run out at one booth, and then the other booth we would have the inventory, so I'd have someone running back and forth to fulfill orders that were needed.
Right.
And then anytime you run into any sort of issue, I mean, because there's always something going on
behind the scenes,
and there's only one of me.
That's
so
true.
If you have 2 fires and there's only one fireman, one fire is just going to keep burning while the other one is being taken care of.
Okay, that's fair.
You know?
I mean, I'll go with that. And I think we've always said that. But the other side of it is our games are so exciting and so quick. It's hard to ask people to walk, like you said, the distance to go over there and check out the merch because they're going to miss God knows what, right?
Gotcha.
It could be a flyer, one of our players flying. It could be a touchdown, a couple of deuces. Who knows? And you don't want to miss anything.
I gotcha.
So yes, we have compromise.
Philip has responded here. He says, I've seen that when the doors open, there's a ton of folks and a heck of a line. You might be losing some of those folks who don't realize how fast the line can move. I could see that, yes. However, my response to that is most of the people that are jumping into that initial line aren't always buying merch. They're collecting the free item that we're giving away to the first 1,000 or 1,500 fans. But a lot of them, they swarm over there, pick up their item, and then they usually will jump out of line. The line usually does move pretty fast. And then some people, you know, they'll hold on to that voucher until halftime, or they'll wait till the third quarter. So throughout the entire game, we've got people that are coming to claim that. But we keep that thing pretty stuffed up, and that line moves.
I will say, though, these past 2 games, I've had extras from my suite, whether it be the cool pennant that we have or the medals. And I've had people come up to me on the field while they're getting the autographs from the players, and they'll ask me if they can redeem their vouchers, if I wouldn't mind sharing. And I'm like, of course. So I'm redeeming them after the game sometimes, just so you know.
All right.
I haven't been able to share that with you yet.
All right. Well, I tell you what.
So thank you, Philip. Get them. Get Weston.
From now on, we'll start putting on the vouchers. You can claim your free item not only at the merch booth, but you can also go to, what suite are you in again?
I'm in one of those.
She's in one of those suites down there.
I have no problem with it though, because it's a lot of fun, and you get to really, visit with the attendees and have a good time with it.
I got you.
I love it. I love it. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
You can go. You can. Huh? So, I don't know. I think we're killing it so far, Jen.
We're killing something. I haven't heard crickets yet.
It doesn't feel like we're running a show. It feels like we're just hanging out.
It is. It's our norm 5-hour meal conversation meeting.
3-hour phone calls. You never know.
Absolutely. What we have to do to accomplish,
we're a dangerous team.
Yes.
Well, that pretty much wraps up quarter one for us. So we're going to go to a break, and we will be right back. In surgical hospital. Jen.
Yes, sir.
Barring all of the sound issues that we're having tonight.
But see, that's one of the things that happens behind the scenes that we talk about, right?
Yeah.
These are just things that happen. It's part of part of the creative.
We do see everyone's comments with the sound issues, and our producer Ralph is working on that as we speak.
He is.
So, Jonathan, welcome to the show, my friend.
What's up? How we doing, Gunslinger Nation?
Please tell me we get to hear Jonathan.
Can y'all hear me?
I'm hearing something.
All right, keep talking.
Can you hear me?
Jonathan, we're working on it, my friend.
Uh-oh.
I know it.
If it's gonna happen, better with us.
Hold on, I think I hear Jonathan now.
Can you hear me, Gunslinger Nation?
Woohoo!
Guns up, Jonathan.
Guns up, Jonathan.
Guns up. Yeah.
Well, we should call him Coach Bain. Or is that do you prefer Jonathan or Coach Bain?
How about just Coach?
I've been called worse, so whatever y'all want to call me.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll stick with Coach.
Yeah. In a professional setting, I would speak to you as Coach Bain, but you're like my friend, so I'm like, that's just Jonathan.
That works.
Well, he's another one that helps out in a lot of different arenas. It's not just Coach; it's ticket guy and the guy in the office.
I think there's a lot of people out there that may not realize that Jonathan is actually doing ticket sales. So some of the text messages and phone calls that you might get that are from Jonathan, that is the Jonathan Bain. Or
even the one behind the keyboard when you're emailing or text messaging, that could be Jonathan too. If it's not Jonathan, it's you. So you're getting Weston or Jonathan. Talk about a great duo, right? I love it.
Well, Jonathan, we are so glad that you joined us this evening.
Yes.
Because as you just saw in that video about Coach Fuller, who we back 110%. You know Fuller for a lot longer than most of us have.
Absolutely.
I mean, did you not play for him when he was a head coach for a different team?
Yeah, so I've known Coach Fuller my whole professional career. He is actually the first man to give me the opportunity back in 2014, just to date us just a little bit. Wow. Yeah, so I've known him for 10 years in this game and have played for him directly for, I want to say we came up with 6.5, 7 years. So I've seen Fuller, as a head coach, as a coordinator. I mean, heck, if we're being honest, Coach Fuller is one of the main reasons I wanted to get on board in San Antonio. And like your video just showed, that awesome video that Robert made is in Fuller we trust. I've always trusted Coach Fuller. I promise you, I've been everywhere. I've been in this game a long time. There's not a more prepared coach in this game. The hours, lack of loss of sleep, everything he puts into this to make this thing work is really admirable, and I appreciate him for that. And I've been able to learn so much from him throughout the years as well. And not to sweat. I've been a part of something. We were in a startup team in Portland, Maine in 2018, right? Went out on a limb out there, startup team. Wasn't the best situation, as far as strength of ownership and everything like that. But man, just to watch Coach Fuller make it happen. We started the season actually kind of similar to this. We were 1-5, I believe, at one time. And I mean, Coach Fuller just stayed the course and got everybody in the system to buy into what he truly was trying to do. And we ended up going on a 7-game win streak to end that year. And it was something, it was honestly my favorite season out of my career, to be honest with you, just to face that adversity early. Everybody writes you off, everybody counts you out. And just to see how Coach Fuller never one time wavered, never one time changed who he was. He just stayed just who he is and who I know him as, just stayed to the grind, kept putting in the work, and everybody saw that. And eventually it takes everybody to buy in, though. It takes everybody on the team, every player, every coach, everybody in the administration. And that's what we got here in San Antonio. And we're just a few plays away. If you really, really paid attention to these first, 5 games, we're a few plays away from being 4-1, 3-2. And there's no excuses. We just got to execute. But just to kind of build on Coach Fuller, man, he's a special, special guy, football guru. And I promise you, he is working day in and day out to turn this thing around and give everybody in San Antonio something to be proud of.
Wow. Well, that really speaks volumes to who Coach Fuller is.
Yeah.
And to go back to what you said, when you played for them, your team was 1-5, which is pretty close
1-5.
to where we're at.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're not 1-5.
We won't be.
We'd like to start moving the needle the other way,
Absolutely.
but like you said, you can't count us out.
Mm-mm.
People probably already are counting us out. But if I recall, I think the Rattlers started out pretty similar last season, and they went on to win a championship. So you can't look at the first 4 or 5 games and determine whether this is a championship winning team or not. It's you have to be able to see improvements, and I think our fans and our staff, I think everyone can see that at least this last game there was a huge improvement. I mean, we were in this game the entire time, and like you said, 1 or 2 plays could really do it. 1 or 2 penalties could really make a difference. But if you could, what kind of adjustments do you think that you guys made going into this last game? What adjustments were those that really brought us more into it? Like what was that switch that we flipped that got us close to winning?
I mean, I think guys just kept going out there and competing their butts off. Defense is playing so well right now. I mean, if you just take a look at last year, and I don't know the exact stats. I wasn't technically a part of that, but paid really close attention to it. But the offense averaging 50+ points a game and still somehow, losing games. And then this year you look at it and we're holding teams to 35, 28, and still not able to pull off wins is just very frustrating, especially – like I said, being around Coach Fuller for a long time and always knowing he's always had a top offense in the league every year he's ever coached that I've been around, in 10 years. Anytime I've been able to watch from afar, whether I was on the team, not on the team, Coach Fuller has been consistent in what he does on offense and defense. But offensively speaking, we're just kind of in a little lull right now. We did make a change at quarterback, and Guy came in and did some really good things for us in the run game this past week and brought a spark there. And, it's just overall, we just got to keep executing and execute when it matters. There's some really big moments in the game, and any true indoor arena football fan knows that last possession before the half and the first possession coming out of the half, especially if you're getting the ball coming out of half, are so crucial because we had a really cool opportunity and everything that we wanted, just how you draw it up, to be able to go in. We were milking the clock, had the ball inside the 5, 1st and goal right before half. I believe we got sacked and then we had a turnover, and just what a blow that was, because if we're able to get 6-7 points in that drive, and then we go in at halftime, come out and then score like we did that first drive out of halftime. I mean, think of the position that sets you up in to go in and try to finish the game. So just big crucial moments like that, big key moments we got to capitalize on. And like I said, we're going to continue to work and, try to put our players in the best position to be successful, and whatever that is, and we're learning that daily, what guys are really good at and what guys, need to work on and different things. And like I say, it's a constant grind. This is a long season. I don't think I've ever played a season with 16 regular season games. So, that plays to our benefit in this situation at 1-4. And in reality, and not that the 2 losses don't count to Tulsa out of conference, but we're 1-2 in conference. 1-2 in conference. You go look at that western side. You got Arizona at the top, and then I believe it's Bay Area right under there, which we were able to handle their only loss this season. But then everybody's just in a bunch, right? Everybody's right there. So the West is for anybody to take. 4 teams get to go to the playoffs. And like I mentioned, we got a long season, so we're not stressing. We're just, there is a method to the madness. I always say that because there's a lot going on, but I promise you everything's well thought out and well planned out. And we're going to keep making adjustments as needed. It's professional football. And we're going to just keep trying to dial it up and find ways to execute. We don't make excuses around here. Fuller will be the first one to tell you. We embrace any challenge coming our way, any adversity. We got to adapt and overcome. These are all things that he's taught me over the last 10 years and things that I'm trying to echo in the locker room and try to be just another voice for him. And But we got a great group of guys, and just the resilience they show fighting week in and week out. It's not fun, and it's not easy to be 1-4 as a coach, as a former player that's been there. It's not fun, and it's easy to lose focus. But having Coach Fuller at the helm and Coach Johnson alongside him, they do a really good job of keeping guys locked in. The goal that we set out whenever, we started this season, and even when he took over as head coach, is to bring a championship back to San Antonio. And I promise you, we still have that thought in mind. That is still our goal. That's the ultimate goal. And it is everything we can do to make that happen as a coaching staff. We are doing, because like y'all just covered in the first quarter, from ownership to James, to Miss Stephanie, to Jordan, to April, to Weston, to Jen, to Marshall, to Robert, to Crystal, to everybody else involved in this thing, as a former player and somebody that's been around the game a long time, we as coaches, as our players, we truly appreciate everything that goes into it, because I've never been around a group, and it's a small group, that works so dang hard to put on the product that they can. And if anybody deserves some stinking wins, it's y'all, and in the front office and the ownership and the fans who continue to come out and support us, even at 1-4, not losing hope, not losing faith, and knowing that we're in good hands. You are in good hands. Coach Fuller, this ain't his first rodeo, and he's been here before. And there's nobody I'm betting on more than Coach Fuller when it comes to beating the odds, and he's been special to me, and he's fun to work with. It's been a blast, but we're going to get this thing on track, though. I promise you.
I will say this. Last season, obviously, Coach Fuller, Coach Johnson were here. And I didn't, because of sponsorships, I don't have to engage with them too much other than the typical, hi, how are you?
Yeah.
As we're walking through the office. And when this year happened and this new season happened, and obviously Coach Fuller has always been here and has been the coach, and now he's just got a new position, right?
Yeah.
And being able to engage and watch the team and the other coaching staff just huddle around and show the support, and just what do we need to do to get to that point, because adjustments have to be made, right? Because it's his style or the way he's doing things. But he's still been our coach. He's still been on the offensive line and the defensive line and talking to so it's just that little adjustment. And I felt after this last game, what a difference, like what you saw. Unfortunately, there were a couple of penalties. I saw Tina mention that on here too. There were a couple of penalties that even hit us kind of hard, that made that, unfortunately we take the loss, but overall, it's the passion that I've seen with our players huddling around Fuller. I mean, even his intro coming into the game, I loved it, because it was just like, you could just feel the energy of let's go, let's do it, let's accomplish it. And I'm just so excited about our next home game to see where it goes. Well,
I think not only our fans, but our players, they've really just embraced Fuller.
They really have.
He is now the leader of our organization. And we're trying to stay with this mindset of, I believe. I believe that the San Antonio Gunslingers are going to win a championship.
Yeah.
I believe Coach Fuller is the person to lead our team to that championship.
Absolutely. And deserving to do it.
Oh, 100%.
He's just such a chill guy. I mean, in his history, and he played, and I mean, just everything about him. He just played in the NFL. I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, but you wouldn't know that unless obviously we researched, right? And we Googled and we found out. But he's just a laid back coach. But when it's time to coach, it's time to coach. And I think that's 24/7. I sit there and say that because I've never seen, I mean, he's at the computer. He's watching the plays, watching what's going on, watching the film, and doing so many different things. And you can just see the wheels turning. So I'm truly excited to see where we're going.
All right.
Because it's definitely a positive note, because we believe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Jonathan, I don't want to keep you here all night, but I do have a question.
I can talk to a
and it goes back. It goes back to what Mama Myers was commenting about penalties.
Yeah.
So every week it seems like we kind of get dragged online for, the amount of penalties that we get. Some of them maybe we disagree with. We don't think that they should have ever been penalties, but there are some that, as soon as they happen, we'll have our guy on the field. He's raising his hand because he's like, I did that. I know that
we
one was
own
on
it.
me.
We do. They own it.
Yeah, penalties
is there
are
like a process to address those?
It's just discipline, right? Honestly, a lot of it is, and some of those ticky tack ones, like a holding call or pass interference call, those you can't get too upset with because they could go either way. You know what I mean? That's a true judgment call. That's why the call is not allowed to be challenged. So it's on that play in that moment from that view of the ref, whatever he saw. And every football fan in the world's been on a bad side of that. And you hate it sometimes, and sometimes there is more favoritism one way or another, but you just can't get too caught up into those. It's the it's the personal fouls, it's the after the whistle penalties, it's the lining up offsides penalties, discipline things that really frustrate you as a coach, and that we do preach daily. You know what I mean? We do. I promise we do, and we address it daily. And we've even implemented fines on some of those penalties now amongst our team that if you're going to do this, there are consequences. It's not just 15 yards and affecting us on game day, which you see a lot of those will pull us out of scoring position. A lot of them will set them up in scoring position, and you just can't have it, and not that, it happens. I mean, I've probably had one in everybody has them. And we're not saying just be perfect. We want to strive to be perfect, and we know things are going to happen. But the stuff that we can control, though, those type of penalties I just mentioned, we have to do a better job of, because it's not helping us out in any means, and it's really hurting your brothers who are over there doing everything they can, and not getting penalties and doing everything. It really is, and not calling those specific players selfish, but it's a selfish act to get those penalties.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? To where it harms the team. I mean, even once this year, it got a player ejected, and then it put us in such a bind as a team, without having players to replace and due to the, the small number you get to travel to a game with. And so we're constantly preaching that every day. We're trying to create a true culture here, a bought-in culture, to do it Coach Fuller's way. It's his way, right? Or the highway. It just is what it is. Yeah. I mean, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. The man's won everywhere he's been. He's a phenomenal coach, a great leader.
He's awesome.
And he brings a lot to the table. I mean, it's just, and a lot of the guys see it. A lot of the guys do get it. And it ain't like we're out there just committing personal fouls left and right. And, so it is, things are looking right. We just got to really just clean it up, sharpen up, be more disciplined, execute, just your typical football things. But that's what it comes down to. And we're going to bust our butt to get it done.
Well, it's very reassuring to know that like steps are being taken to correct these issues with some of our players. Because there's a lot of frustration with our fans when they're like, man, we have the team to win and we're getting killed by penalties. And that fourth quarter, Guy Myers ran it in for a touchdown and that thing was called back. And we ended up not scoring on that drive. And that could have tied up the game.
And this is in football. And that was a great play by Guy. And, that happened and brought us back. But in football, you'll know, and Coach Fuller has always, since the first day I met him, taught this. If you miss an opportunity, right? So you run in a touchdown, but it's called back. If you throw a touchdown and it's called back. If you miss a wide open receiver running down the field and you didn't complete that ball and you have to run another play. If you go, I wish there was a stat on it, but the chances of something bad happening after that seem to just skyrocket. The odds. It's crazy. And he's always said that you got to take advantage of the times when they're there, because when you don't, something bad always happens. And you can watch from the indoor game all the way to the NFL, your favorite team on Sundays. Watch when a touchdown's called back. Watch whenever a huge play is called back. Watch what happens in the next sequence of plays. It's just the nature of the beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it certainly seems to happen to us that way.
and it will continue to happen that way for the rest of your time watching football. And it's just one of those deals. And he preaches that daily. And we know. And like I said, that was a holding call that brought it back. And who knows, is a holding one day, maybe the next day it ain't, we don't know. But you just can't leave it in the ref's hands, is what Coach says too. You can't leave the game. because if we took advantage of other opportunities we had outside of that play to score or do whatever, convert on a big down, well, then we wouldn't be even talking about that play. You know what I'm saying? Because, it just kind of all goes hand in hand. But yes, penalties, we do got to clean up. Execution, we got to clean up. We got to get back to lighting up that scoreboard. That's what the fans want to come to see. That's who, Coach Fuller's always been as a coach. That's what we preach on offense day. And look at our weapons. I mean, goodness gracious, we got 6 receivers that could be, number 1 receivers on every team in this league. It's an abundance of riches, really, so we're going to get it right. Everybody, is on board. And, I think this was, we got good film to take into this coming week and to learn from, take the good out of there. That was good. There was a lot of good things that happened this past week that we weren't able to get done in the previous 4 weeks. So we take that, keep getting better at that, and then take the, the stuff that we need to work on and get better at that too. That's all we really can do.
Yeah.
And I can promise you, I really can promise you, there's not another person going to have these guys more prepared for a football game than James Fuller. And I'm not going to, I've said, a lot about him, but it really is true.
Yeah.
It's when you get to work alongside him, because, I get those phone calls at midnight, 1 a.m. Hey, did you see this coverage versus this? Hey, we thought they were running this versus this formation. In reality, it was this, and this guy's he's a mad scientist back there. He really is. He's a mad scientist. And he's going to always.
Well, I'm glad the mad scientist
that.
is on our side.
I was going to say, I think we have a new name for Coach Fuller, the mad scientist. I'm really digging that.
He is that. There's not many who want to go toe to toe with him on a whiteboard talking X's and O's. I promise you, because if that's what helps me grow daily. Is I come in with ideas. He'll tell you I come in with ideas every single day just for him to try to poke holes in. Why wouldn't this work? Why would it work? It really is cool.
Yeah.
Do you think too that our odd schedule has been a factor? I mean, starting the season, it's been like bye week and then away game and then a bye week, where it's not a norm like the hype every week.
It's been 4 weeks since we had a home
That's
game.
what I'm saying. Do you think that's a factor too?
Like I say, we don't ever want to lean on that as
mentality is what I'm thinking.
It is real. That is real, Jen. Getting to play at home, you get, where you get to go in and kind of have a routine, right? When you're at home, you're practicing every day at the same times. You're sleeping in your own bed. You're eating the meals that you want. Everything's just, you got a system going. And then, you get to sleep in, when you're playing out of town, though, on the flip side, you're traveling, whether it be plane or bus, whatever it may be. And then you're spending that day, you get there kind of just trying to get your body back right. And, everybody has to do it. Like I said, this is not an excuse, but it has been a little off, especially in our situation with kind of the adversity we faced here early in the year of, everything. It's hard to get in a rhythm, I guess, if you will, but there's no excuse for it. We still, as pros, we know that's part of the game. But again, we get to take advantage of, I want to say it's July where we get 3 out of the 4 home games and 3 out of the 4 games in July at home. Yeah. So, it kind of comes back full circle.
That's it. We definitely are going to finish strong on that.
We're finishing strong on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Jonathan, I want to jump back to this comment that came in from Alex McSwain. He wants to know, are you doing your homework and what kind of changes are you making for our rematch against Vegas next weekend on their field?
I'll answer this. Not to jump into it because I don't know what all I can and can't say. Right?
Keep our secrets. Keep our secrets.
You know what I mean? But no, I do appreciate the question. I appreciate the engagement, just in general. But I preach it every day. I say it like a broken record, but it's just execution. We left a lot of plays out there, offensively speaking. I work a lot with the offense, so I can speak on that. We left a lot of plays out there that we need to take advantage of in order to beat a good team like Vegas. They did give us some things that we thought we were going to be able to take advantage of in the game, and we didn't at times. And that's okay. Like I say, it's football. They get paid too. I guess going into it to say is just cleaning up our execution, cleaning up our penalties, being more disciplined, and just constantly getting better, right? We just got to get better. And I think the guys are on board, and I think they got the message clear from Coach Fuller. He's a man of few words sometimes walking around town, but I promise you he's got plenty to say whenever you're 1-4 and you're in that locker room and having a meeting and addressing what needs to be fixed. And that's what you need. You know what I mean? He's passionate about this. You want a guy that's passionate. You want a guy that, hates to lose. Man, we hate – I've not got to share a cold beer with Jeff. I waited my whole career to get out of playing just to have a nice cold beer with Coach Fuller after a win, and we haven't really been able to do that. And I'm really, really hoping we get to here soon because, and I say that all to say just because I see the amount of work he puts in daily. And we put in daily.
You'll get to have that cold beer when you guys have rings on your fingers.
How about I just get that sponsored? Just get your win. We'll get a sponsor. You'll have a cold beer. Deal?
There we go.
There you go. That sounds like a plan.
Well, I know you guys don't really get much of a bye week. Coaching is just nonstop. So me and Jen, we wish you the best. Keep working hard. We're all proud of you, and we're all rooting for you.
Absolutely.
And, we're just glad that you joined us on the show.
Yes.
Absolutely. Hey, and I appreciate y'all. And like I say, everybody that's involved in this thing. It's something really, really special here in San Antonio from top to bottom. And everybody, it seems, is on the same mission, same mindset. And we appreciate what y'all do coming from the football side of things. And I can promise you we are going to do everything in our power to get this thing on the right track for y'all and the Gunslinger Nation. I mean, there's too many and the wonderful, all the people here in San Antonio, right? We want to pack that stadium out. But I know Texas, we got to be winning. We got to win some ball games. And so we're going to get it under control. But thanks again to y'all. Appreciate everybody, and guns up.
Guns up.
Guns up.
And that's a wrap for quarter 2. Stick around. We'll be right back. South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, and we've got a new face on the show.
Hello.
Yes.
Let us introduce to you our head trainer, Megan.
Hi, guys.
Okay, Megan said that she was going to be nervous and she was going to stutter. No, she's not. No, she's not, because we believe. We believe.
Do. We believe.
Okay? We believe in everything.
We have this. We have this.
But I think I could speak for our entire organization that you go above and beyond pretty much anyone else. Because she's not just our head trainer. She's also our equipment manager and chaos coordinator and
delivery collector.
She's kind of
Band-Aid operator, you name it.
She's basically like
girl.
our facility manager.
Yeah.
Yes.
If something's going on here at the facility, Ask Megan.
That is a
Yes.
very true statement. If something's wrong, somebody comes and finds me, and I figure it out. So
She's
Yes.
the person.
Yes.
The
yes.
person. So
Yes.
we are glad that you're joining us on the show today. I think there's a lot of people that they see you on the field every game, and
Which it could be good or bad,
Yes.
by the way.
it's
yes.
normally bad for them, but
I
that's when my job gets
know.
intense. But better to be there and not be needed than to not be there and they need me.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
And that isn't that the reason why you wanted to get into this profession though?
absolutely. I love being there and helping athletes just get back on the field and take care of them and make sure that they can do what they love to do. And I'm just there to support them as much as I can.
Yeah. So tell us just a little bit of history about you. Like, how did you get into training, and like what is like the schooling and qualifications that you have to go through to be in your position?
Absolutely. So in high school, I played sports. I did track, I cheered, and then I also did play football.
Wait, what?
Wait a minute.
Like
Did
I
she
played
say play football?
Yes.
Are we going to see her on the field soon?
You never know. Coach Fuller knows that I'm in his back pocket if he ever needs me for
Oh
something.
my gosh.
But yes, I played football in high school. So
Okay.
I knew a lot about football going into college. I wanted to be a doctor, but then I really wanted to be hands-on with athletes and sports. So
Wow.
when I went to Kent State University in Ohio, I got my bachelor's in athletic training. I worked with their football team. I worked with another university's football team in Ohio. So then I moved to Texas. I got my master's degree in coaching and athletic administration. And I've been with the Gunslingers almost since I've lived in Texas for the most part, and since I've been licensed as an athletic trainer.
Well, we are the best part of Texas. So,
100%.
We are, definitely.
I want to jump to some of these comments because I think they're about the same thing. Alex McSwain is saying that it's good that you traveled to Bay Area, and then Mama Myers checking in because you take care of her boys.
I do.
And I think they're talking about that game when DJ went down, and there's that video that our wonderful
Her
Robert
flying.
Seco caught of her flying over this wall, and it's like nothing is standing in your way between you and DJ. You were going to be the first person to get to him, and you were going to make sure that he was okay.
Absolutely.
What is going on in your mind in that moment?
My eyes are always on the field, and I always think and assume the worst because I'd rather be prepared for the worst than not be ready. So as soon as I see an athlete go down, I immediately jump the wall. As soon as I hear the referee's whistle, I am 10 feet on the ground, ready to just get right there when he was there. And luckily it was right by our bench, so I could just hop right over. But
Hop over, girl. You were. I think she could give Duck a run for his money going over the wall.
I think so, too.
Yeah. What we saw in video for sure.
absolutely. Yeah. I don't even think about it when I jump over the wall, or when we're home, I get to just sprint right onto the field. So my immediate thought is, are they okay? I need to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
Are they taken care of? And my thought process doesn't stop until I'm able to get them up off the field into our sideline so I can get a better look at them.
Yeah. Well, our fans, everyone, we all think of you as like a superhero.
Well, thank you.
It's literally Megan to the rescue. I think you should wear a cape or something.
A cape?
We
You know
do
what?
have
Maybe. We do have
superhero
capes.
We do have
night
capes. We
coming,
do
so
have-
there might be a special Megan jersey or something.
Listen,
That could be a conversation for Jordan.
pre-order.
The flyer.
now.
That's it.
Pre-order
Jordan, are you
now.
hearing this, sir?
Merch link in bio.
I'll put it in my bio. Don't worry.
There you go.
Oh,
Or at
man.
least a bell. She could be on a bell.
Yeah.
A
Something.
cowbell, something.
Well, so you spend pretty much every day with these guys,
Yes.
and people don't realize it's not just on days that we have practice.
Right.
There could be days when there is no practice. They're still coming to see you for treatment,
Yes.
even on the bye week.
Yeah, I don't get an off day. So I've been at the facility every single day this week. Sunday, I'm here right after the game so the guys can get treatment immediately after the game. And I've had treatment every single day this week. I'll continue having it tomorrow, Friday, and every day because I just want to make sure that they're healthy. My off days is when we're not in season, because in season is the most important time, and our bye weeks are the
Okay.
most important time because that's the time that the guys finally get off and get to take care of their bodies. And I get to just make sure that they're taken care of.
That's pretty cool. And then I add to your workload sometimes.
It's okay.
Because she's also the manager of all of our equipment. So when I'm like, hey Megan, I need to know how many footballs we have because we have to monitor our inventory. And it's like, okay, whenever I'm not in the middle of like putting
Yeah.
someone back together, I will get to it. I'm like, you know what? That's totally fair.
I do have the lock and key to this entire building.
Yes.
So if you need something, I am usually that person.
Well, and then there's the sponsorship side where I call and I'm like, hey, we have a delivery coming. Can you meet them? Can you open the door for them?
And I've got a great relationship with them, and just whatever I can do to make sure that everybody else is taken care of, that's what I'm here for. And I love it.
Do a heck of a job, no doubt. I don't think anybody would question any of that for sure.
For some of the fans that haven't seen the video from Bay Area, when we basically videoed the entire trip from the moment the guys are arriving at the airport until they're landing back in San Antonio after the game has already taken place. And it's crazy. You get there like an hour or two before the guys are even set to arrive. You're printing out all of their plane tickets. You've got their luggage tags. You organize all of it.
Absolutely.
You're kind of seen as like, you're almost like the team mom.
Yeah.
You're just like,
yeah.
They're just grown children.
I hope they know how good they get it. I guarantee this is not happening at every team.
No, there's just no way. And I
just can't
There's
imagine.
not another Megan out there.
No, there's not. That's what I'm saying. Every other team probably doesn't have that.
And we're not willing to share.
Oh, no.
No, we're not
Absolutely
willing
not.
to share. You
And I don't
cannot
want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't
We're
want
not going
to
to let you.
I love it here. I've been here. This is my 4th season with the team, and I absolutely love being a part of this organization. And I've loved to see it grow from what it was 3 seasons ago into what it is now. And I've grown into having multiple interns and created a program here for interns that are interested in athletic training. And so I just love what we've grown here and what it's becoming now. So
yeah. So you're kind of passing on the passion that you have for the next generation of trainers, and
they're just not allowed to work here as the trainer.
No,
she's not giving up her job.
No.
I'm here. Intern.
They can only intern. I'm the only one that
she's preparing for the next team.
My spot is my chair's in there, my name's in there. Nobody can come in here.
Yeah. We're not letting her go.
But there are some other teams that might just get lucky enough to pick up a trainer that you
trained. And I would trust any of my girls to go anywhere and take the best care of athletes. And I love all my girls. All my interns are amazing. And so
they are. They're on the field too. I running crazy.
Yeah. They help me. I wouldn't be able to operate without them. So
yes.
I want to check in with Alex really quick because he's got a good question for you. It says, Megan, ice or heat? What should be used and when?
Ooh.
Ice can be used right after an injury to help with pain. You always usually wait 48 hours to use heat because it can make swelling worse. So it just depends on the injury. But normally we kind of try to balance out what we use in the training room. But the guys know when and when not to use stuff. So I usually don't have to hound them too much about not using the proper stuff. But yeah.
All right. It's good to have Megan who knows all of the things about all of the things.
All of the things. I know a lot. So.
All right. Well, Megan, what would you say to people who might be interested in becoming a trainer? Like, there could be someone watching right now who's like, I want to be like Megan. What would you tell them?
I want to go to the airport and do tickets.
It's a lot. Just know that you have to have a passion for it. And if you have a passion, love for it, it's not work every day. It's stressful. It's long hours. I'm here from 6 a.m. till 4 p.m. most days, but I love what I do. Just know that it's a hard profession, but once you get the hang of it, you love the game, you love what you do. And there's a spot for you, whether it's with football, basketball, soccer. I've worked it all. So football is just where my heart's at, and my heart's with this team. So.
Well, I agree with what you said. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day
in your life.
Absolutely not.
What do you do on off season? So what does Megan's world look like when the season finalizes?
So I do a lot of contract work here in San Antonio. So I work with Methodist Hospital, and I get to work with the high schools in this area. I work with a lot of the colleges as well. I got to work with the USA Ultimate Frisbee team. I also got to just work the All-Star football game. So wherever they need me, they place me, and I get to just cover a lot of football August through October. So football for me is March through October. I don't ever leave football.
Oh, that's really cool.
Alex McSwain chimed in, and I think it's very interesting. He says, listen, I don't want to see Megan leave.
Uh-oh.
But it would be pretty cool to see her move up to like the NFL or CFL or what would I mean? You hate to put you on the spot, but like, what if an NFL team was like, Megan, you're the one?
I'm always open to job opportunities, but they've got to offer me something good for me to leave here. I've got it great. I mean, the support and the love that I have here with everybody. I mean, I couldn't see myself leaving unless something beats that, which I don't foresee that happening. So.
we don't want you to leave.
Well, and I was going to say, I like what Faye says because we forget about that. You also help with our 6 shooters.
I do. I absolutely love the 6 shooters. This is the first year that after last season, me and Coach Casey sat down and kind of talked about how we wish there was like a little bit of a combination of me helping them. And I didn't like that they didn't feel like I was going to take care of them. And so I made it a point to go to everything that they had. I went to their tryouts this year. I went to their welcome event. And then the girls are always open to come to the training room. I make sure that I arrive to the game days early to take care of them. I love those girls. I am so excited that I get to work with them this year and see them every day. And I get to look at one of the sidelines when something happens and I'm like, we just laugh because we just give each other these looks. And sometimes, so I love the players, don't get me wrong, but it's sometimes nice to be around girls and not constantly be around the guys. So I love the 6 shooters. I love Coach Casey. I'm just glad to be with them this year.
Yeah. We definitely have an amazing group of ladies on our 6 shooters
We
team.
Absolutely.
do. But, you know,
Best
we
in the
forget
league.
about them, too, having those type of injuries. I mean, they work their butts off, too, with their practices and their events and their activities and their entertainment. I mean, it's endless for you.
It is endless. But sometimes, like I said, like they'll come in just for like minor injuries, but it's nice to debrief with them sometimes and just girl talk instead of, Megan, that game, did you watch it? And I was like, yeah, guys, I was there.
Valid point.
We've got Jeremy chiming in. He wants to know, what is the worst injury that you've had to deal with?
Oh.
I'm sure that there's a long list of
There is a
pretty
lot.
bad ones that you've seen.
I've seen anywhere from a bone sticking out of somebody's finger. I've seen a broken leg, unfortunate C-spine injury of an athlete on the field that we had to send on an ambulance. So I've seen some really horrible concussions. It really just ranges, I guess, on what you think is terrible. Because to me, I don't think they're all horrible for the athlete, but there's nothing that I'm not scared to get out and help with if something does happen. So to me, they're not always that horrible if they can be taken care of.
I mean, your job is a lot more than just like taping up someone's ankle or rubbing Tiger Balm on someone's shoulder. It's
I mean, love that sponsorship plug. Thank you.
You're
Way
welcome,
to go,
Jen.
Weston.
I got you, Jen. I got you.
Love it.
But in a sense, you're like a first responder, right?
Yeah, I have my EMT license. It's not required for athletic trainers to have it, but it's just another thing that I knew I needed under my belt being with the football team because anything can happen with them at any point in time. So always just being ready for if they have a broken fingernail or a broken finger. You just got to be ready for whatever comes.
And that's why you're the best in the biz.
And that's what I mean.
And that's why she's a gunslinger. Guns up.
Guns up, baby.
Absolutely.
Well, that pretty much wraps it up. Did you want to give a shout out to anyone in your family before we go?
Don't we have family in town?
I do. My nephew and his mom are in town visiting. I haven't seen him in a little bit over 2 years. He's 3. If you were at the home game, he ran out with me on the field. So shout out to Kingston. He's the reason I try to be the best version of myself every single day because I just want him to know that anything's possible. So
that's awesome.
That's my nephew.
We love that.
That's awesome.
And we love you. Thank you for everything you do
Thank
for the
you guys.
Gunslingers.
They really are. Let me tell you, I've got both of them on speed dial because when I need something, I call one of them. I probably call Jen at least 5 times a week. So it's okay.
Well, we love you and we're so grateful for you.
Absolutely.
You guys stick around. We'll be coming up with the 4th quarter.
You did fabulous.
We killed that.
We really did.
Huh?
We killed that.
for your health.
Huge Eagles fan and was so excited because she found out he played for the Eagles and knew everything. I thought Coach Fuller, God love him, he didn't have a chance. She knew it all.
Angie said, hold on, you played for the Eagles? You're now my favorite person.
Yes, it was just the craziest thing. But she truly, I mean, just such a huge supporter.
Hey,
Yeah.
our boss, James Stubing, is checking in. He's
Uh-oh.
saying, great show, guys.
Oh! Yay! Until tomorrow.
James, if only you knew. 10 minutes before the show started, me and Jen were like, well, he's either going to love this or we're fired.
Exactly. And based on that, everybody sees it in writing. So we're safe.
Yes.
Safe for the moment. Safe for the moment.
All right. Well,
Yes.
for fourth quarter, we kind of wanted to just take over and talk about what we have coming up. So the thing that's the closest is the parade.
Yes. Right? So the South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital have a float on Friday's parade, and they have some special guests. They're going to have a couple of our gunslinger football players, some of our six shooters. So they're going to be floating down the parade route with them. So we are so excited to see that.
And what day is that again?
Friday. It is Friday.
So for all you Fiesta people out there in San Antonio,
yes,
go out there, wear your Fiesta jersey that you got at the last game, and make sure you give a guns up when the South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital float is going on by.
And by the way, you mentioned the Fiesta jersey. You sold out game night of the Fiesta jersey. Let's brag on that. Jordan's design went crazy, and you sold out. That is amazing.
I have had some jerseys get really close to selling out. Usually, we'll sell out of like the most common sizes, like medium, large, extra large. But this one, I mean, I'm out of 2X, I'm out of 3X, out of 4X, even youth large.
Wow.
I mean,
it was an awesome jersey.
Gone.
Yeah. Well, that is one of the coolest things you do on the merch side. And I'm sorry to bounce back to merch is that specialty jersey every game.
Yeah.
It is just, it's a hot commodity.
And we've got another cool one coming up because our next home game, which is going to be on the 17th of May, is our military appreciation night. And that's going to be, that's always my favorite one.
Yes.
And I'm one of those emotional people. So the beginning of that, when, they've got the flags coming down from the ceiling and we've got the band on the field, and it's an amazing moment.
It is.
And I try to tell everyone, like, if you know a veteran or someone that's active duty that is available to go to the game on Saturday, bring them, because it's really to show appreciation to them, because gosh, we wouldn't even have football if it wasn't for them.
That's very true. As a military brat, growing up around it and then being a civilian that worked with the military, it's such a touching moment and so passion driven. Our team gets behind it. Our owners, oh my gosh, totally get behind it. I mean, we see that with their Veterans Day celebrations and even just doing this game in appreciation for them. It's just, we're so grateful for what the military has done for us. So come out, support, join us, sit in the stands, give us a call, sponsor, whatever that looks like. Everyone needs to go. And we got a sneak peek, because we talk about the week before a game, of our military jersey. Oh my gosh, get in line as soon as you get there to purchase it. Jordan again outdid himself.
You don't want to be the person that missed out last week on the Fiesta jersey. You definitely don't want to be that person again on the military jersey. Yeah. Because I can guarantee that one is going to sell out.
Oh, there's no doubt.
It's the coolest one, and at least in the 4 years that I've been with the team, it's the coolest one I think that we've done.
I'm gonna say it's ranked up there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is definitely really cool. When he showed us the picture, I thought, can we get that in advance?
Yeah.
Are we going to have those at the watch party? Oh, Jordan, if you're listening, are we going to have these at the watch party for pre-sale?
We just might.
Ooh, that would be good.
So
that way they can wear it to the game.
Well, and that kind of ties us into the next event. After the parade on Friday, the next event that we've got going on is going to be our game against Vegas. It'll be in Vegas. So for those of you not taking a trip down to the casinos to go and watch that game, we're hosting a watch party at Sideliners Bar and Grill, which those people are
awesome.
Phenomenal.
They are.
They just really welcomed us. They are so glad to have us.
That we take over all the TVs.
I think I told them I wanted to be on like 4 or 5 TVs, and they put us on every TV in sight.
Yeah.
They've got 2 huge projectors. They put us on both of those, and then every TV around. If there was a Gunslinger fan, there was nothing but Gunslingers on the TVs.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
If you weren't a fan and came there just to play volleyball, you became a fan.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, there's no doubt. Everybody stopped us and asked us what was going on.
Yeah.
And who and how and what, and bought merch or whatever that looked like. Yeah.
Well, if those military appreciation jerseys are in time, I will bring them to the watch party. I will be there. Just like I did. We did do a soft launch with the Fiesta jerseys.
We did.
People were able to take advantage of that and pre-buy their Fiesta jerseys. They showed up to the Freeman already dressed for Fiesta night.
That is true.
And that could be you, potentially. I have to make sure that the jerseys are going to be here in time, so I'm not promising
I'm still waiting for
yet.
Jordan to chime in. Where's Jordan?
But definitely keep up with us on our socials, because if they're here by next Saturday, I will have them at the party, and you'll be ready to go for that upcoming home game.
Well, and if you're having fun with us now, think about hanging with Weston and I at the watch party. Come on now. And we're going to have special gifts, because it is Mother's Day weekend.
So bring your mom.
If you're a mom, you should come out.
Bring your grandma too.
Absolutely.
I bring my grandma to
yes,
the
you
watch
do.
party.
She's so fun. Yes.
I hope I'm not embarrassing her, but my grandma, she loves the Gunslinger so much. It's unreal. She thinks Kali Rashad is the coolest thing. And when she's had a few, she'll call him her boyfriend.
I love it. Now, didn't she just have a birthday?
She did. Yep. Her birthday was actually yesterday. She's 75.
Isn't that awesome?
I know.
I need to buy her a drink at the party. We're going to get her a drink for her birthday.
Birthday shots for grandma.
Yes, absolutely. And then on top of that, she gets a special gift from the Gunslingers for Mother's Day. So there you go. Come on out, definitely, and hang with us.
Who wouldn't want to hang out with us?
Absolutely. We just got to make sure we get that guy on the other side of the table to join us. Ralph.
Come on, Ralph.
We're going to get Ralph to a watch party for sure.
Rowdy Ralph at the watch party.
Yes.
That's what we're going to have going
Absolutely.
on. I do want to go back to, hang on, what Orlando said. He said, we need to get a party bus.
Why not? We should have done that for the past game when the guys were on the bus. We should have had a party bus follow them. Yeah, that would have been fun. Next time.
Next time we go to Tulsa, we might just have to make that trip.
Yeah. That would
I
be
miss
fun.
Frisco being a part of it.
That would have been easy.
That was such a close drive.
Yeah.
Just 4 hours up the road.
Yes.
But Alex, we are looking forward to you being at this watch party. I'm sorry that you missed the last one. But we'll see you at the next one.
Yes,
sure.
Definitely. I love it.
Jen, I'm running out of things to talk about.
Oh my gosh, really? We can sit here and talk all day. No, I think we've done our time. Yes, we have. I think it's time to say goodbye.
Yes. Well, we are so glad that you guys tuned in to hang out with us. If you want more of this, please leave your comments, like, share, go on our socials, and blow this thing up. And if you want me and Jen to be back hosting this thing, make sure you tell us. Okay. We're gonna break here, and then we'll get into our overtime. But that's it for fourth quarter. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely.
And welcome back to Branded, brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital.
Way
Jen,
to go.
Jen.
Sir.
Should we cause any more damage, or should we?
I think we're good.
Should we back out slowly?
I think so. I think we're good.
While our jobs are still intact?
They are. I think so. I agree. Big thank you to our sponsors.
Yes.
Big thank you to our fans. Big thank you to those that are listening to us and have not deleted us.
Haven't tuned us out yet.
Yes, not yet. So, I mean, what more can we ask for, right? It's time to go.
I'm out of words.
I know. Let's go.
As fun as this was, I think it's time that we part ways, Jen.
It is.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in and watching. And as we wrap up our show, that, of course, for the millionth time is brought to you by South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital.
Absolutely.
Make sure that you follow us on all of our socials. That way you can keep up to date on what is the latest that we're doing, because you never know.
Absolutely.
What we talked about on this show is just a glimpse of what really goes on. There's always things that are happening. But make sure that you stay up to date with us, because we would love for you guys to be a part of everything that we do.
Absolutely.
So
Shall we?
we?
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Don't forget, everybody, keep your
Your guns
guns up. Good night, everybody.
Good night.